Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. Previously, poison entered the picture. Ray Membami spoke up, she's the defendant here, and said that she noticed that poison was stolen from the lab she worked in, and she believes Giselle Brett did it, and so she followed her to the beach to confront her, but next thing she knew, Giselle Brett fell over dead with a knife stuck out of her back. And so now we have a photograph taken through a slit in the wall that could only have been the very same slit that the knife passed through. And I think that paparazzi journalist dude did it. He's in the background tailing Sosuke Natsume, and well, I think he's the only one who could have done it in this case. But for now, things are not looking good. Also, I think I figured out why my brain had so much trouble figuring out how to say the name Ray Membami. It's because I've been playing Overwatch 2 quite a bit recently, and there's a map in that game called Numbani. And I think my brain just said, okay, say Numbani, you're playing Overwatch. No, it's Membami this time. And for what it's worth, I play Lifeweaver and Torbjorn. Fun characters. Anyway, it is often said that a picture is worth 1,000 words, and here we have ample proof. The court will accept this extremely cogent photographic print as evidence. Cogent? What is that? I can't believe he's had a photograph like that up his sleeve the entire time. It's such a stark image, I'm genuinely lost for words. Wait a minute, I don't understand. How did you... who took that photograph? Ray.
Objection!
That's of no importance here. Stop trying to divert attention. Oh.
Objection!
That's an absurd thing to say. It's crucially important. Whoever took this photographic print was a witness to Miss Brett's death. The court must be allowed to hear this person's testimony. I will uphold the defense's demand. The prosecution will reveal the identity of the person responsible for taking this photograph at once. Well, I'm afraid I can't do that. Pardon? You see, this print arrived at the Imperial Police Bureau headquarters by express post yesterday. But there was nothing to indicate the sender's name or address. The provenance of the print is unknown. Goodness! Are we to understand then, Counsel, that in full knowledge of the fact that this photograph has the murkiest of origins, you nevertheless believe it fit for submission as evidence in the Supreme Court? When you first produced that print before, I noticed that you hesitated for a brief moment. Because you knew that it wasn't completely reliable evidence, didn't you? Silence, you yokel student and blabbering professor! What matters is the blatant truth that the print so eloquently expresses. But the defendant has already admitted to pulling the blade from the wound. Clearly this isn't the moment that the knife was plunged into the victim's back, but... The moment it was withdrawn. Don't waste this court's time with your ramblings. Indeed. Without knowledge of who produced this print, we have no means of verifying the claim. And the scene it captures is without doubt the most compelling evidence presented to the court. If the defense is unable to shed any further light on the matter, I believe the conclusion is clear. Oh no. Susato, this is the time for you to fight. If what you've established so far is true, then there can be no doubt. This photograph shows the moment that Ray withdrew the blade from the victim. Yes, we just need to prove that somehow. You'll have plenty of time to rue your defeat on the slow train back to the provinces. And to rue the day you came up against Takatsuchi Ouchi in a court of law. If I can't determine who took this photograph, then the trial is going to come to an end. There must be a clue somewhere. There must be some way of working out who took it.
Well, Counsel?
Your Excellency, the burning question is who took the photograph, and the truth is,
I know who did it.
This isn't about whether I can or can't come up with the answer now. I simply have to. The identity of the person who took this dramatic photographic print is, I assure you, something the defense can and will reveal.
What? No, you can't possibly. But as you so boldly claim that you can, please do enlighten us.
Unfortunately, I'm unable to present a name.
How utterly underwhelming. Did you really believe you could?
However, I am able to present evidence. The defense has a piece of evidence that reveals important details about the photographer's identity.
What?
Very well then, Counsel. Present your proof to the court. Which piece of evidence do you claim reveals something about the identity of the mystery photographer?
Well, if you look here, on the right, a very telltale crack of the lens. So easy to miss. And here, in this newspaper article, a telltale crack of the lens. It's identical.
Take that!
What is that? The newspaper again. Raucous England returnees tell all.
Is it raucous? Yeah, I think it's raucous. It's not the headline that's relevant here, Your Excellency. It's the photograph. If you look at it closely, you'll notice that there are some white lines on the right-hand side.
Oh, yes indeed. They had already caught my eye, as it happens.
Huh, what of it? A shadow of some kind, presumably, from the branches of a tree or the like.
There are no trees growing inside my laboratory at the university, I can assure you.
Now, if you look closely at this photograph,
Good gracious!
yes, exactly the same pattern of lines is present on this photograph too.
Objection!
Well, that tells us nothing. Yes, it's a shadow of some kind, definitely, from the branches of a tree.
There wouldn't be any trees growing inside a hut at the beach, Counsel.
What's quite remarkable about it is that the two patterns are absolutely identical. How could such an extraordinary similarity have transpired?
The curious matching pattern that appears on both photographic prints is a result of a camera defect. Obviously, it must be due to a problem with the camera used to take the photographs.
With a photographic device?
Yes, we can confidently say the camera's lens must be scratched. And that the scratched lens causes unwanted lines to appear on every print taken with the device.
In short, the two photographs under consideration here were taken with the same camera.
But there must be hundreds of such camera devices here in the capital. It would be utterly impossible to identify the owner of this particular one.
Objection!
I think you're forgetting, Prosecutor Ouchie, that one of the photographs featured in a newspaper article.
A newspaper? Ah.
That's right. The author of that article is the mystery witness to this crime.
What? Wag!
Mo? What?
I see why you were called the raucous England returnee.
What are you yelling about? You've already testified.
It's Memo, I tell you. Memo. Memo. He writes many memos. Soseki-san, what was that? Did you say many memo? Ever since I returned to Japan, a reporter from the Shoyu News... Oh my god. Shoyu News. Okay, has been hounding me, following my every move. A reporter by the name of Ryutaro Naruhodo. Oh, God! Oh, the 1-2 punch! Oh, I was not ready. Okay. Right in many memo. Yes, hounding me from dawn till dusk. Ah, now that he mentions it. They secretly spy, snapshots, scribble stories, and scupper my privacy. Could that same reporter be... A camera to the left of him, a notebook to the right. There I am, stuck in the middle with writing many memo.
So you're saying that this picture was taken by...
By many memo, yes, my lord, your excellency, Esquire.
Officer, find this newspaper reporter at once and bring him to my courtroom. We will adjourn for a short recess in the meantime.
Oh, yes, your excellency. As you say, your excellency.
And one more thing. I want this knife, the murder weapon, examined for traces of poison. You will solicit the assistance of the Imperial University's medical department for the task. Understood?
Many memo.
To be continued. Right now. By the way, I forgot to mention, this is actually the very first video I'm recording after celebrating my 29th birthday. It was on November 5th. I'm a 29-year-old man now. Hooray! I'm so sorry, Susato. I should have told you about the toxin. Ray.
You have a strong sense of responsibility, I know. That's why you decided to shoulder the burden alone.
No, that's not it at all. I was scared of my failure coming to light, that's all. So I hoped to retrieve the substance from the Englishwoman before anyone found out. Before the trial started, do you remember what you said, Susato? That you had no doubt in your mind about my innocence? That you'd stand by me to the last? I remember. And yet I didn't deserve your trust in me. I hid important details from you, Susato. I completely betrayed your faith in me. Hit me, Susato. I deserve it. No, in fact, throw me to the floor. No, that's too good for me as well. Drag me through the city streets. I'm no better, you know. Oh. Even though in my heart I knew that you'd pulled the knife blade from Miss Brett's back, there was just a brief moment when, in my mind, I doubted you. Susato, I'm so sorry. After I stood here and promised you that I'd stand by you and always be on your side, I betrayed your faith in me too. And as such, I failed you as a lawyer. Oh, no.
I think this situation has taught both of you a valuable lesson. Placing your unbridled faith in another is no easy task.
Yes, Father. That fact has certainly struck home. Which is why I can see more clearly now. So, Ray... Yes? Can you find it in your heart to forgive me? Oh, Susato. You know you'll always be a gallant, dashing lawyer in my eyes now. Oh, Ray.
Oh, cute.
I was so scared, when it happened. I didn't know what was going on. The Englishwoman was sitting at the back of the hut listening to what I was saying. I know it was you who stole the poison. Well now, whatever do you mean? And then a moment later, she suddenly got to her feet before collapsing on the floor in front of me with a knife in her back. It all happened right before my eyes.
And you were the only people in the hut at the time.
That's right, just Miss Brett and myself. There was no one else. So I just don't understand how she could possibly have been stabbed like that.
A great mystery indeed.
If only we had a great detective on hand.
I still can't believe it happened. That's why I just couldn't bring myself to speak up. It'll be all right. However it happened, and whatever really went on by the sea that day, I promise you that I'm going to prove everything you've said you saw is true.
Spoken like a true Mikotoba. Now I think we should discuss what's coming up in the trial, don't you? We don't have much time. We must make sure we have our facts in order.
Yes, I expect the poison is going to come under close scrutiny in the upcoming proceedings. The police should hopefully have identified it on the blade by now. The trouble is, it's a completely new laboratory, a laboratory that synthesized blends of alkaloids. The police won't have any way of testing for it. Oh, I see.
Yes, without this chemical reagent, it's impossible to detect the toxin.
So give it to them.
Chemical reagent?
I sent a colleague of mine off with some earlier to deliver to police headquarters.
Oh, good.
I think perhaps you should have some as well, though, just in case.
Aha. Let's apply that to the pen, please. Let's look at it.
The label appears to be written in a foreign language that I don't know.
It's German, so your knowledge of English is going to be of little help here, I'm afraid.
Couldn't you have just written medicine on it in Japanese? Then we'd all be able to read it.
Medicine is the wrong word to use.
German is the international language of medicine, my dear.
Huh. Is that why German doctor is such a common trope? Huh. I actually don't know too much about the origins of, the practice of medicine. Like, I would assume it kind of began in Greece with the Hippocratic Oath and the dude Hippocrates and all that. But I don't know.
But yes, I can certainly see the merit of labeling the bottle in Japanese. Though I'm not sure medicine would be entirely appropriate.
Oh, you can see clearly from this angle. It's half drained. Doesn't look like there's anything else I can talk about. Okay. What's the matter, Susato? You're suddenly very quiet.
It's this newspaper article. Exclusive, deadly poison stolen from Yume Medical Research Laboratory. I'm wondering how the information got out, given that it was a government secret. It was all the Englishwoman's doing. What? It was when the professor and Soseki-san were being interviewed at the laboratory. That so-called English lady swaned in, and without any compunctions said to Professor Mikotoba, "Oh, Professor, surely your guest would love to hear about your work on that substance there."
It put me in a very awkward position, to be frank. But Soseki-san's curiosity had been piqued, so I had little choice but to give him a cursory introduction.
So then, Soseki-san knew about the poison.
Yes, and it's highly likely that the reporter who was writing up the story about us would have caught a glimpse of the toxin too.
This Memo-san. By the way, did that reporter join you all when you went to the beach? Oh, no, I don't remember the reporter being there.
Oh.
Indeed, he shouldn't have been. I very much doubt anyone would have wanted him there.
Oh?
A known criminal had been given permission by the authorities to bathe by the seaside. Soseki-san pointed out that inviting a reporter might be problematic, so the man was sent back to his office.
Yet he obviously didn't go back. He secretly followed the party to the beach and took this very candid photograph. And then presumably he posted it anonymously to the police. Ah.
Yes, that must be what happened.
Counsel, we've just heard that the new witness is now ready to testify. The trial is about to resume. Please proceed into the courtroom at once.
It's time to steel ourselves once again, then. Defense attorney Ryutaro Naruhodo?
Yes. Ray has put her faith in me now and told me everything, so I can't let her down. I have to prove that what she's telling the court is true. I have to prove what really happened that day.
All right.
I hereby call this court to order as we reconvene to continue the trial of Ray Membami. Prosecutor Auchi, have you summoned the new witnesses? Witness.
Before I address that question, Your Excellency, I have some very important news to share.
Uh-oh. Oh?
What news? And why does he look so happy about it? During the recess, with the collaboration of Professor Mikotoba's laboratory at Yume University, the police re-examined the knife that was used to end Miss Giselle Brett's life.
Excellent. I admire your rapid handling of the matter.
Oh, too kind, Your Excellency, too kind. I was merely carrying out your instructions, of course.
I had the Regent delivered to police headquarters by rickshaw, so it would be there in good time.
But judging by the man's swagger, I fear we might need to brace ourselves for the inevitable. And, Counsel, what are the results? This dagger, which was so cruelly used to end the life of the victim, has no trace of poison anywhere along its blade.
Yeah, I figured. It's all in the pen. The pen is mightier than the sword. Oh, Lord.
What? Are you sure about that? I would stake the reputation of the police on it.
Armed with a regent, the test is extremely simple. They couldn't have made a mistake.
In short, the accused's feeble excuse earlier has been utterly destroyed. Ugh!
Is it just me or does the crowd murmur sound way lower than usual?
Now the prosecution is ready to call the new witness.
Ah, the newspaper reporter who managed to capture a photograph of the crucial moment. Good. Very well. Officer, bring in the witness.
No trace of poison on the knife. But if that's really the case, how could the toxin have entered the victim's body? Witness, please state your name and occupation for the court.
Okay, first, I want to look at that knife. It's a new piece of evidence. Cool wooden handle.
Ah, yes. This must be the victim's blood.
Oh dear. Blood is never a pretty sight, is it? I'm having to fight the urge to run it under a hot tap and get it clean.
You've always been fastidious about cleanliness, haven't you?
I think this is something else, Father.
Nothing else of note, really. Just a knife. Write him any memo of the Show You News. I'm what people like to call a journo.
What's a journo, Father? Do you know?
It's simply a contraction of journalist.
I'm there where the news breaks, putting pen to paper to catch those scoops so they're in print the next morning. I read scoops and just had a violent reaction. Whoa. They don't call me the hero of the Herald for nothing. The nice guy of the news.
Oh, so, it was you who took this photograph, was it? Well, what have we here? I'm sorry? Oh, brace yourselves, people. Memo says it's a scoop in the offing.
Uh-oh. Has he detected the truth? Oh, okay. I was about to say female. Oh, yeah, female. Okay. That was close. Female student up to foul play defended by curiously handsome young lawyer in Supreme Court. The readers will lap this up. We'll set it above the fold at 72 point in a 5-leg format for the morning edition. Huh? Right then, let's start with your name. Oh, it's Ryutaro Naruhodo. Next, what made you want to become a lawyer? I wanted to reform our country's legal system, I suppose.
Ryutaro has suddenly become very ambitious, I see.
I just borrowed Kazuma-sama's dream for a while. By the way, my name is Takatsuchi Aochi. That's Takatsuchi Aochi. The so-called dark horse of the Supreme Court, my objections strike fear into every defense lawyer's heart.
No, the readers won't buy that.
What?
Witness?
Yes?
What this court demands to know is whether or not you are responsible for the taking of this picture. It was delivered anonymously to the Imperial Police Bureau only yesterday.
Yeah, I wouldn't be a journo if I didn't click quick when presented with a scoop like that now, would I? Sometimes stories call out to me, sometimes I have to chase them down, but either way, you've got to be fast. Fast legs to run with and a fast hand to write with. It's no good if you don't note it down, I always say. That's what I call my many-memo-mism. Many-memo-mism?
Ah, yes, I remember your face. We met that day when you were interviewing myself and Soseki-san.
Yes, right. That was me, Memo again.
But you were supposed to be going back to the Shoyu News offices after our meeting.
But the scoop is I didn't. Because that Englishwoman's words had piqued my journalistic interest. Miss Sprett's words? A criminal left to do as she pleases just because she happens to be a British citizen? It's horse done. This country's judiciary is rotten to the core. The Supreme Court's rulings aren't worth the paper they're written on. The police are just imperial pawns.
Stay your tongue, young man. There are complex political issues at play.
Well, anyway, I quickly jotted down those words she said in my memo. Oh, fuck off. Are you ready? I'll read it out. It's all here. Right, here goes. I should like to go with everyone to see your country's coast. A serious criminal going on some junket. The people need to know about this. That's why I decided to sneak after them. To get the woman's story so I could hammer her in the press.
Do you mean to say that you did indeed witness it firsthand? The grim scene portrayed in this photograph.
Oh yes, I saw it with my very own journo eyes. From start to finish, through the viewfinder of my trusty camera.
Thank you, Memo-san. You will now give a formal testimony before the court. You will state exactly what it is that you witnessed of the events surrounding Miss Brett's death.
The beach hut was made by shoddy old reed screens, so there were plenty of gaps I could see inside through. The Englishwoman was sitting on a stool when the student girl came in and started arguing with her. Seconds later, the girl pulled out a knife, throwing the Englishwoman to the floor as she stabbed her in the back. My smoldering journo spirit burst into flames. Quick as a flash, I whipped out my camera, ready to click. I pulled apart the rough weave of one of the screens and poked the lens through the perfect shot. Reed screens, you say? Right, you can see them clearly clearly enough in that great shot I snapped. The hut walls were just screens made of coarsely woven reeds.
Yes, it allows the breeze to pass through and brings some relief from the summer heat.
And it was a breeze for me to poke my camera through and see the whole thing hotting up. Ignoring for the time being the appalling invasion of privacy involved, did you witness everything that happened from the moment the defendant entered the hut? Oh yes, I saw it. I saw the whole thing from start to finish. And you say that you took the photograph through a gap in one of the screens. Luckily for me, they were pretty shoddily woven. I pulled the reeds apart and thrust the lens of my camera through the gap.
Oh, that's not the only thing he thrust. He thrust a knife.
Would I get away with it, or would I be seen? It was the gamble of a lifetime.
A tenacity of purpose that's considered admirable in a journalist, I suppose.
Run a risk one day, run a scoop the next. That's Memo-ism in a nutshell.
At last, it wouldn't appear we have a genuine witness to this wicked crime. The evidence and testimony are extremely compelling. I believe we may be close to a verdict.
No.
Wonderful news, Your Excellency. Wonderful.
Nevertheless, it cannot be denied that this testimony begs one very large question.
What question?
Exclusive news, a startling photograph, all the makings of an exceptional story for the reporter. Why then was the story never published?
Oh, that's right.
It seems clear to me that there are circumstances at play here that are yet to be understood.
More pathetic excuses.
Very well then, counsel, proceed with your cross-examination.
Yes, Your Excellency. There's more to this reporter than meets the eye. He's keeping something about this case very close to his chest.
Let's pick this apart. Cross-examination, begin.
The beach hut was made of shoddy old reed screens, so there were plenty of gaps I could see inside through.
Hold it!
What made you want to see what was happening inside the beach hut in the first place? Call it journo instinct. Can you think of a better reason? Oh, I don't know. Perhaps because as well as being a proven criminal, the person inside was a young woman. I see where you're going with this. Brace yourselves, people. He's painting the journal as a voyeur. It's hardly slander, sir. You had a camera and you were taking pictures without the woman's knowledge. Nope, you've got it all wrong, little student boy. Sorry? To my mind, all that was inside the hut was a scoop. Nothing more, nothing less. Scoops know no gender, man or woman, it's all news. That's not even it's basic journalism. If only the courtroom was as indiscriminate. Right, so if that's all buttoned up, can we move on?
Tell the court then, witness, what sight befell your eyes when you looked inside the hut.
A sight that vindicated my journo instinct, that's what. When I pulled back the reeds, I could see it all as clear as day. The Englishwoman was sitting on a stool when the student girl came in and started arguing with her.
Hold it!
So you actually saw Membami-san entering the hut? Yup, and she was raging like my journo spirit. And the argument you mentioned, what was that about exactly? You stole it. I didn't steal it. That kind of thing. Talking about the poison, I suppose. The student girl walked right up to the Englishwoman and really started laying into her. I mean, if she'd laid into her anymore, there would have been eggs. What?
The man should have been an author. His descriptive talents are wasted on journalism.
But the student's rantings fell on deaf ears, like a Japanese person listening to English for the first time. He really ought to work on his similes first, though, to be honest. I mean, yeah, it was the opposite, wasn't it? Anyway, the point is, that woman on the dock was mightily angry.
And her temper finally got the better of her, it seems. Dear me.
Which was the climactic moment that I caught on film. Seconds later, the girl pulled out a knife, throwing the Englishwoman to the floor as she stabbed her in the back.
Hold it!
Do you swear before the court that you actually saw the precise moment when the stabbing took place? The precise moment? I didn't see just that. I saw the whole hellish scene play out, from start to finish.
I have here a simple plan of the beach hut. Perhaps you could use it to explain to the court exactly what you witnessed.
Right you are. It's all here in my many memo pad. When I first peered into the hut, I'm sure that the Englishwoman was on this stool at the back of the hut here.
Yes, the accused's own testimony confirmed that.
She just sat on the back of the hut, smiling sweetly, is what I have noted down. It's my turn to testify now. Try not to interrupt. Then, the next moment, as I was watching, the evil student girl entered the hut. After a while, the pair of them ended up in the middle of the hut, arguing furiously. The Englishwoman went for the student, but the girl dodged out of the way, and in a flash plunged the knife into her adversary's back as the two passed each other.
What you describe is a grim crime indeed.
Never sugarcoat the truth. That's what many Memoism says. Well, we got the plan. Let's look at that. I don't think there's anything to talk about it, though. Yeah, no. By the way, Mini Memo-san, whilst you were watching that terrible scene unfold before your eyes through the gap in the screen, did it not occur to you to try to prevent the tragedy rather than capture it on film? Journos have to be observers. We can't get involved. That's our raison d'etre. The what? So you didn't converse with Miss Brett at all? Obviously not. An observer always remains on the outside looking in. And that's something to be proud of, is it?
Your Excellency, if I may. Yes, Professor. I think the witness's last expertly praised statement should perhaps be added to his formal testimony.
Father, what are you...
I will grant the defense's request. Minimemo-san, you will supplement your formal testimony with the aforementioned statement.
Well, nihilism is the foundation of Mini-Memoism, but I'll gladly prove that my words aren't meaningless. I never once set foot in the hut, nor spoke with the Englishwoman. I was there only as an observer.
Hold it!
Really? You didn't set foot inside the hut at all? Are you quite sure about that? I think you may have the wrong impression of me. We're talking about a murder scene here. My nerves are stretched to breaking point already. Oh, I see. You are scared. Maybe I did have the wrong impression of you, yes. It was all I could do to stifle a scream and hold my hands steady enough to snap the shot.
You really should have summoned help before thinking of your camera.
Many Memoism and humanism don't always agree. And most of the time in those instances, many Memoism comes out on top. As a sculptor of stories, sometimes I have to be cruel for my art. Yes, that's spot on. How cruel, though? Did you kill that woman just to create a story? Is that your only motivation? Like, what the hell? Surely he's making all this up.
He claims to have spied the whole affair from start to finish. If true, his testimony is devastating.
But it does seem as though he's holding something back, doesn't it?
If that's how you feel, I suggest that you trust your instincts and press him on everything he said. As you've no doubt seen done many times before in your role as judicial assistant.
Yes, I have. I've seen witnesses like this pressed often. I know exactly what to do. Wait, did we really see everything? Yeah, we never pressed this. Or this. The new thing that was added to the very end. That's odd. Okay. My smoldering journo spirit burst into flames. Quick as a flash, I whipped out my camera, ready to click.
Hold it!
The court is fully aware of your desire to capture the incident on film, I'm sure. But why then did you choose to post the photograph anonymously to the police? I'm afraid I don't understand a word that comes out of your mouth. I'm asking why, as a journalist, you decided not to make a story out of the incident. Think of me as a sculptor who makes art out of the sordid private details of other people's lives. But I never discuss my own personal life on principle. I mean, that's basic mini-memoism. It's not something to boast about. No doubt your burning desire to see the truth exposed and justice done was what motivated you. That's it. That's brilliant. My burning desire to see the something or other exposed. There has to be a good reason why he didn't think to write an article about what he saw, though. He knew something would incriminate him here. He saw the truth.
By your own admission, you were outside the hut. How then did you manage to take the photograph?
Yes, that. I'm glad you asked. I pulled apart the rough reeve of one of the screens and poked the lens through for the perfect shot.
Hold it!
But the two women inside didn't notice. Ha! Obviously not. If they had, where would I be right now? In jail, that's where. Which you'd think would make you reflect on what you were doing. No, a journo's job is to collect little snippets of life as unobtrusively as possible. Leave nothing but footprints, take nothing but photos. Yes, that's spot on. Did he just make that up? The point is, the witness risked life and limb to obtain this photograph. And this photograph reveals the whole truth. There's nothing more to be said. Alright, so... as is pretty clearly a uniform thing, whenever something new gets added to the testimony, and you press it and nothing happens, you pretty much have to present something here. You never once set foot in the hut, nor spoke with the Englishwoman. I was there only as an observer. Well... Confound it. We can't see the hand holding the pen. That is a shame. There's something in the crime scene that would implicate him. Yeah, now that I actually look for it, you can see the slit right here. Damn. Well, everything from the photograph angle lines up. Open palm on the ground, facing to the body's left. I think everything matches up. Wait, where's the spilled bottle? Hold on. You can't really see. Yeah, in the bottom right corner, the reeds are blocking where the bottle should be. What in the world could implicate someone as standing in there? Oh. You know, there are lots of footprints in the sand. Even back here, I think. Yeah. And everything about this diagram certainly matches up. But you know what? I've been hung up on him entering the hut. Maybe there's something about talking with the Englishwoman? Well, this is a newspaper article. And I'm not so sure Ray would have spoken to him. Maybe Giselle Brett did it? No, I don't think so. Wait a goddamn second. Wait a... I feel like an idiot. I can't believe it took me this long. Ray Membami is RM, yes, but so is Writin' Many Memo. Why did the victim have your pen, sir?
Objection!
Many Memo-san, until now I've had a firm belief that newspapers are in the business of uncovering and publishing the truth. You're spot on there. The press doesn't lie, which is why I'm proud to wear the emblem of the Shoyu News on my arm. Oh, the symbol on the pen. Whoops. The press doesn't lie, which is why I'm proud to wear the emblem of the Shoyu News on my arm. In a way, that's my many memoism. Yeah. The friggin'... Ugh. Man. Oh, this is what I get for taking like a few days in between recording sessions, man. Sadly, though, it seems that journalists who write for those papers don't always share the same passion for the truth. Oh, what are you suggesting with those recriminatory words, Counsel? Many Memo-san, do you recognize this fountain pen? Tell you what, I'm gonna end things here. I could press on just a little bit, but boy, I'm really tired right now. I have a little headache. Just a teensy little headache. I'm getting just a little too tired to want to press on. 53 minutes is good. Well, 54 now. Yeah, everything is proceeding exactly as I predicted. The pen is the key to all this. I almost combined pen and key, and almost said the P is the key to all this. Oh yeah, I am tired. Wow. Okay. Oh wow. Okay. So honestly, we're about to tie that pen to him, and from there it's just a matter of running tests and seeing if poison was in the pen. And with that, yeah, we point out that, yeah, he was in the exact right place to sit behind the victim and put that knife into her back and prick her with a pen and all that. That's all it'll take. I think we have this in the bag. But boy, his motivation, is it really as basic and perverse as formulating a scoop? Like, my god, if that's true, this man is instantly worse than Lotta Hart ever was. Holy shit, dude. Absolute scum. Well, yeah. I'm Zephyr the Jester. This has been more of the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. Thank you for watching. Hopefully, I'll catch you next time. So until then, please take care.